Sliding out of control, gaining speed on Fallowfield Avenue in Beachview. It was a frightening feeling for that driver and for several others. Our photographer caught at least 5 cars crashing in the same place this morning. It was only a thin coating of ice, but that is all it took to cause major problems. Good afternoon, I'm Stacy Smith. The morning commute was, to say the least, a bit hazardous at times. Some of the accidents were bad enough to send drivers to the hospital. Ross Guidotti has a look now at just how bad it was this morning. He joins us live. Ross?
Really, when you talk about how bad it was, you really need only talk about Fallowfield here in Beachview. KDKA's cameras were the only ones here to capture what happened when quite literally all hell broke loose. These are pictures we have and you won't soon forget. It was shortly after 8 o'clock this morning when an ice-covered Fallowfield Avenue quickly began to resemble a junkyard. The first to go, this golden car into the back of a van. Moments later, watch this Chevy Suburban spinning once, twice, 3 times, only stopped by this Pontiac. Seconds after that, a silver Hyundai crashing, careening. Nothing would stop it. Until it got to Don Warcola's Mustang.
It's a 2007 and it has under 6,000 miles. And we tried to park it there in the driveway because we thought it would be safe.
But nothing would be safe on this part of Fallowfield this morning. The area affected here is really no more than 200 yards between the crest of the hill and the very bottom of the street. There are 10 cars that have suffered significant or minor damage in that 200 yards. And it didn't matter whether you had 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive. Where you wanted to go had nothing to do with it.
All of a sudden, we were in a tailspin, and that was it.
Oh my goodness! Hey, this is a big problem here. This is a lot of cars hitting each other.
City plow trucks and salt spreaders would show up roughly an hour later, but it was already way too little, way too late.
This has been constantly like this for over 10 years. I've seen it bad though, people hitting the telephone poles and going up into porches and stuff like that, but this is the worst.
How do you solve a problem like this, of course, is the big question. Some residents said cut off access to this road heading down when there's a lot of ice. The people who work for the Public Works told me there's very little they can do. Mother Nature had the upper arm and upper hand in this particular situation. But despite all this wreckage and all this damage going into the tens of thousands, no one was hurt, save one man who ran out of his house when he heard all the crashing, who slipped and cut his head. All said, however, he's going to be okay. Reporting live, Ross Guidotti, KDKA TV News.
Boy, what